the rowpaint.com studio. Broke the record of all-time Steelheads leader in games played, Prater, for our guest, AJ White.
Yes, sir.
Just happened, and we're joined right now, and appreciate your time again, AJ, and we love talking hockey with you, and congratulations, man. No one in the history of this organization, which is darn near 30 years old, has put on the sweater more times than you. That's pretty cool, dude.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, first off, thanks for having me. It's always a pleasure coming in, chatting with you guys. But yeah, I mean, it's something I feel like I've never thought would have happened when you kind of start first coming to play here. But it's pretty sweet to be able to be part of some special names and some legends that have played here. And we were lucky to win that night, and it was a good day for me.
You're 439 games, I believe you're up now. Yeah, because it was 437 last Wednesday. You're up to 439 right now. Dumbest question I've ever asked. What's your favorite?
Oh, wow. Favorite game?
Yeah. I mean, like when you're old sipping lemonade with your fake teeth, no offense, but and you're cuddling grandpa and being grandpa, and you're thinking, I remember that game. What's the one memorable game that stands out for you?
Yeah, I've actually been asked a couple times about like my favorite game being here in Boise, and it's always kind of gone back to my first year in playoffs. We were down 3-0 to Allen in round one, and being part of a team to do the reverse sweep, win 4 straight.
That's right.
And doing it on home ice too, and just kind of being able to hear the crowd and everybody chanting it was pretty cool. And I think that's just one of those things that's going to be engraved forever. So it was awesome to be part of.
AJ White with us. That guy across the glass from us, our producer guy over there, just a diehard Ohio State fan. You're a huge Michigan fan.
Yeah.
You ruined his life a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah, I mean, they've had our number for many years there as well. So I mean, a number of times where I feel like both teams were undefeated, and then Ohio State would just dominate Michigan that last week. So
you're taking the high road on us, Captain.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah, I mean, maybe that's just the Michigan way, but
that's good.
It certainly is. No, I'll leave all the cheap jokes alone. We saw what happened post game, so we won't go there.
Yeah, we're talking a lot of football, obviously, in this town, but with you, obviously, back to hockey and the Steelheads. You guys have been at the top of the standings the last 2 years, pretty much, almost like kind of coast to coast, kind of comfortable regular seasons. Not the case this year. Why is the league tougher? Is it taking you guys longer to get to that level where you can play and feel like you can contend for cups?
Yeah, I think it's a little of both. We had a good start to the year. I think we might have felt a little too good about ourselves again, and ran into some good teams that are playing good hockey. And it's a message you got to remember that any given night it's tough to win, and everybody wants to come in beat us. We've been good for the last couple of years, and when you kind of take it to other guys and they come back, they want to come and take it to you. So we're going to get every team's best every night. And obviously we've had some, ups and downs. We win one, lose one, back and forth. So it's just kind of working on our consistency, and it's in our game. Even you can see it. We really haven't played a full 60 for a while, I feel like. And when we do, we tend to dominate the game. And when we don't, guys take it to us. So it's something we're trying to work through, but it's nice to be a little battle tested and have some adversity here. And as long as we're able to find a way through it and, kind of come closer as a team, I think that just kind of builds towards the end of the year for us.
Idaho Steelheads, you can hear every game right here on KTIK. 3-game homestand for the second consecutive week. Rapid City, Wednesday night, Friday night, Saturday night, 7:10 at Idaho Central Arena. One more quick question. I want to go back to last Saturday. Again, you've played 4,753 straight games with the Steelheads, or give or take a couple of games here and there. But I don't think you've ever scored the teddy bear goal. And last Saturday night, you scored the teddy bear goal. And the next thing you know, 10,000 teddy bears come flying out of the stands onto the ice. I mean, I don't know if that's a cool thing, if you run for cover knowing that they're teddy bears or not, but what's it like standing on the ice watching 10,000 teddy bears rain on top of your head?
Yeah, I mean, obviously that's a pretty special moment. Just knowing it's for a good cause too, and that's kind of all the fans were waiting to be able to throw those teddy bears on. We gave them half the game to wait for it. So
like second period, like halfway through the second period.
So obviously it was nice to be part of. I've been on the ice, I think it was last year for it too. And it's just so cool to be out there and watch them all come down. Skating through the line, you kind of got to watch for some teddy bears might trip over a couple, and you don't want to be that guy that falls out there. But yeah, no, it's really cool to be a part of. It's fun to watch them out there and just kind of take it all in.
I know you guys are big, tough hockey guys, but is there a little pregame wagering about? Is there some bragging going on about who's going to score the teddy bear goal? Do you guys care about that kind of stuff?
I mean, I wouldn't say it's necessarily bragging, but I definitely feel like there's a group of guys that maybe mumble amongst each other, being like,
I get it.
I got it tonight. Like,
Nice.
I'm the one getting it. But yeah, I mean, after the first period, I think it was like, all right, somebody's got to get it here. So we were just happy to find one and, kind of pick up momentum off of that.
Steelies at home, guys, Wednesday, Friday, Saturday, Rapid City Rush. Go check them out, Idaho Central Arena, or listen to them right here on KTIK. AJ, what's the weirdest, craziest, my gosh, moment thing you've ever seen a fan do in the stands at a pro hockey game? Have you ever seen a fan fight, a fan toss something, a fan take a woman take her shirt off and
I mean, there's definitely been some instances where you're like, what's going on out there? I think it was last year we were in Utah and there's fans fighting during the national anthem. You're kind of
during the national anthem.
Yeah. So you're
Really?
standing on
That's
the blue
awesome.
line, and I just remember you start hearing people yell, and like we look over, and like Utah is standing behind us. So I kind of look at them; they're going through the same thought process, like kind of giggling, and I'm like, well, that's one way to start a game. And then I know I think it was my first year being in Boise, and we were in Rapid. And Sheener was the assistant coach at the time, and his brother came down, and it was a nasty, dirty game. We ended up winning, and some fan came down, dumped the beer on Sheener, and Sheener's brother saw it, came down, and they started going at it. And
Nice.
you're like, yep, this is hockey for you. So it's fun to see it, but I mean, it's hilarious.
I love that.
You got good fighters on the team this year. How we looking there? I mean,
Yeah, I mean, we got a few guys. Obviously, Kanade, he just loves to be feisty, and he'll fight
tough,
anybody.
dude.
Yeah,
man.
He'll fight. The guy can be 6'4", and he'll go out there and fight him. And obviously, you just love seeing a guy like that go out there, and he always sticks up for his teammates. He's got your back. So you got a guy like that. I mean, even Reese Harsh has thrown him. He's a big guy, but he's not, going out there to look for it, but he's there for you. And
Okay.
we got a few other guys. I think that's another one. Tom Karan, he's a sneaky tough guy with a left hand.
So this is a fairly tough team. I mean,
we got some guys that they're not necessarily going to look for it every night, but they're not afraid to answer the bell if they have to.
Speaking of getting your back, a little bit of a different kind of a vibe here. Scott Burt, a beloved former Idaho Steelhead, one of five names up there on the wall. Numbers. I got to ask you that question too, by the way. We all know that Scott Burt, now the head coach at Rapid City, has taken a leave of absence and is a pretty scary fight medical-wise. I don't know if you've ever met Scott Burt. I would imagine you have several times. And what he means to the Idaho Steelheads, this will be the first time they come here, I believe, without Scott Burt on that sideline. So what kind of emotions do you guys have for one of the legendary Idaho Steelheads who's really fighting his life right now?
Yeah, I mean, it was tough news for a few of us. He was our assistant coach there the year that COVID shut us down, and I got to know him personally. We kind of become, friends away from hockey as well. So even when they came here earlier this year, we chatted, face to face after every game, just being in touch. So for me personally, it was hard to hear, and luckily I think so far things have been going in the right direction.
Nice.
So that's good stuff to hear. But yeah, I mean, it's got to be really tough for a team like that to lose your head guy. And I think we're all, on the same page, things like that's bigger than hockey. And we're just all hoping for the best when it comes to stuff like that.
You're 100% right. Things like that are much bigger than hockey. But then let's go back, since you're a football fan. We saw, the Randy Moss stuff on Monday Night Football last night. We know what he's going through. I'm assuming you know what he's going through as well. The power of sports and taking that love and putting it back into the vibe and the energy of the world for guys like Randy Moss and Scotty Burt. What can the power of sports do to help guys like that, especially if Randy Moss is watching that on TV, Scotty Burt listening to the broadcast tonight, knowing that he's got this connection? What kind of power does sports have there?
Yeah, I think it's kind of one of those small knit communities. I mean, you kind of see it from a distance. It looks like everybody hates each other unless you're on your team, but in reality, all of us, played against each other at some point, know somebody that knows one of your friends. So you kind of know everything that's going on, but you always want the best for everybody. And especially, I mean, it can happen to anybody. So it's one of those things we're just all pulling for him. And I know he's obviously one tough son of SOB. It's one tough son of a bitch. So, if anybody can do it, it's going to be a guy like Scott Burr for sure.
I see. AJ White, Steelheads captain, hanging out with us in studio here. Your nose, man. That looks like that. I mean, it's like you got his scar. That's the letter Z. I mean, it looks terrific. I mean, I'm not saying it doesn't look bad, but I mean, that's a pretty sweet scar, whatever. Was that a skate? Was that a stick? Like, it looks like your nose probably completely fell off and they had to put it back on.
So usually everybody assumes that it's hockey, but it wasn't hockey. So
dude.
Yeah.
And are you serious with it? Are you being serious?
Oh yeah. It was it was with another fellow hockey guy.
Shocking.
Yeah.
Shocking.
That's not from a hockey thing.
No, that was my face hitting a boat, and the cleat that you tie off on, that was my face hitting that. So more or less was really stupid, but also got, I guess, technically lucky at the same time.
So,
well, long story short, we were wrestling off the dock, and it was a long dock, and it got later at night. Wasn't paying attention as much, and we just got a little closer and closer. So yeah, it was a end of the night ruiner. We'll put it that way.
Yeah.
What's your best piece of advice? I mean, because you're a grown man, but you have kids on your team. Guys are just getting in the league. What's kind of the best advice for you that you give young kids coming into the league thinking they're going to be the greatest thing in ECHL history?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, it's kind of something I was told. I think I was like 14 from a few younger pro guys that came and talked to us, and they were just it's kind of like life. It's a marathon and not a sprint, and that's kind of how I viewed my hockey career as well. And you gotta build those stepping stones, and it's just not always going to come easy to you. And sometimes you think it's going to be unfair, but as long as you keep working hard and you battle at it, sooner or later you get a good bounce. And that's kind of like we do have a lot of young guys, and it's tough sometimes. Coming in, being some of these guys might be farther away from family, don't get to see them as often as well, and you're kind of really off on your own. Like some of these guys, they might have been away from family, but they're living with billet families as well. So now you're cooking for yourself all the time, and there's just a lot of things away from the rink that you got to do on your own now. So it's just making sure that they have it figured out and kind of help them through that process as well.
No more mama's meatloaf after practice, Prater.
I'm not sure what that means, but it sounds kind of fun. Sounds kind of cool. Hey, one of the cool things about minor league sports in a community like Boise is watching these talent winning championships, but also guys going up, and whether it's minor league baseball, minor league hockey. You guys put the 26th former Steelheads into the National Hockey League last week. Ty Fellhaber, is that how you say it?
Yep.
He's a forward now with Colorado. He was here with you guys in 2019 and 20. So that was during your era as well. How much of a badge of honor do players take when they see a kid who's going up? I think he's only 26, 27 years old right now, playing in the NHL. And that used to be one of your guys.
Yeah. I mean, it's one of those things that it's almost refreshing to see. Obviously, I think he might have, when he was down with us, I think he was in his last year of his deal with Dallas. So, he was kind of stressing as well, and, wanting to be his best self, but sometimes you put too much pressure on yourself and it doesn't work out. And obviously he's been around with a couple different organizations, and I mean, that's just resilience right there, finding a way to, one, become a career AHL guy, and then two, being able to get called up. So it's really cool to see. And he deserved it. He's an awesome guy, great guy, and he was fun to be around. So seeing a guy like that, you're just happy that he finally got a chance to do it.
ECHL is essentially a AA if you're looking for the baseball parlance, and the American Hockey League is the AAA. To put it into context, to have the Steelheads even 26, 27 years, put 26 players into the NHL from the AA level. That's essentially an average of one a year. I think that's kind of high.
Yeah, I mean, I'd say that's pretty good numbers. I mean, I honestly have no idea what it's like throughout other organizations, but I know it's really ran well here, and I mean, it's been a good connection between each teams, and we know that a lot of guys come here, it's for development and help them move on, and it's continued to grow in that aspect, that you see more and more young guys down in this league, and A lot of, especially it seems like goaltenders, a lot of NHL guys that are down here now and moving on. So it's cool to see it. And, I hope we see more of that as well.
Yeah, I think there's a couple of players on the roster now that are with two ways with Dallas right now. If I had to say, is there an NHL prospect on this roster right now? Who is it?
I mean, there's a couple. I really like, obviously, Ben Cross. He's new to us this year. He's on a contract with Dallas, but he's just a true professional at the rink and away from the rink, and he's kind of got it figured out. We just got sent down our Curry again, who I think has made huge steps from last year to this year, and especially becoming more of a pro as well. And there's a few other guys that, I think if they're given a chance, they would be able to prove themselves as well. So it's obviously right place, right time, but you never know. At the end of the day, there's so many guys that come in and out of this league.
You seen Gladiator 2 yet?
I haven't
either. He has over there. We haven't really talked about it yet. I was just guessing, hockey player maybe you had, but
it's a good hockey pump-up movie. It's a good hockey pump-up movie.
Yeah, I mean, I love the original, so
too.
I'm a little nervous about watching this one.
Me too, man. I don't want it to let me down,
Exactly.
AJ,
That's
because
where
the
I'm
original, I can watch Gladiator a couple times a year.
It can be already halfway through the movie, and if I turn it on the TV, I'll probably finish it. So.
This one's there's a good chance a lot of people are going to think the second one might be better.
Wow.
And the first one was powerful. The first one was the storytelling, and the second one spectacular.
All right.
Who's your favorite NFL quarterback ever?
Wow.
Tom Brady, probably.
I mean, that's the easy one right there. I mean, went to Michigan.
Yeah.
I mean, ever. Wow, that's it.
Come on, AJ.
I can think of ones that aren't my favorite ever.
Just first one that comes to the top of your mind.
First one, all right. I mean, I would obviously Matt Stafford was the guy for me because the Lions sucked.
That'll work. Caller number Matt Stafford with the Lions will get a 4-pack of Idaho Potato Bowl tickets right now. 208-424-9300. Caller number Matt Stafford with the Lions. People are in their car going, okay, I'm going to call, but I don't know what freaking number Stafford was. Hopefully I get it correct.
I think I know, but I'm thinking.
It's single digit. Yes.
Okay.
Yes. AJ, tremendous honor, being the all-time games played leader in Idaho Steelheads history to many more. And you're one of our favorites, man. Hopefully we can get you back soon.
Yeah, absolutely. Appreciate it. It's always a great time.
Steelheads tomorrow, Friday, and Saturday at Idaho Central Arena. Prater in the ball game.
From the Beacon Plumbing Traffic Studios, this is Ticket Traffic.